Alright, so I'm going to start out this by saying there is probably slight bias on my end because I am of the Gothic style and culture and so on and so forth, but I am not going to say that there isn't, because clearly there is, obviously, because I am Goth. I am not going to try to say otherwise. However, I will try to keep as unbiased as I can throughout this matter. Thank you. So, with that said, let's move on. As the title has stated, that the only real, genuine, and meaningful, passionate, romantic love out there is found within the Goth culture and Goth people. Now, whether I am Gothic or not, just based off of my personal observations, based off of the behavioral patterns that I've noticed, based on of everything that I've seen, heard, read, saw, whatever you want to put it, based off of all observations, all behavioral patterns, all of everything, I've concluded that the only bit of true romance, true, real, sincere, heart-to-heart love, a bond that is created between two people who sincerely are in love and want to be together for the entire rest of their lives, that isn't based on superficiality or physical attraction or any of that other shallow shit, but true emotional bonds that have intertwined, creating a irresistible and unbreakable bond between two hearts, two souls, two minds, two personalities, are only found within the Goth culture. You don't have to be a Goth to observe this nature, to observe this behavior, to observe any of this. It is what it is, regardless of your stereotype or how you dress or what you believe in. I haven't seen this sort of powerful connectivity between two human beings outside of the Goth culture before. Not once. They can glamorize it in fucking movies all they want, but it's in a movie for a reason when it comes to the non-Goth folk. Because it's fantasy. It's not realistic. It isn't a thing. It doesn't exist in the real world. But it sure does for Goths, though. We don't need romanticized movies made about it, because we actually have the capability of actually having them. Any and all Goths that I've ever talked to, male or female, relationship or not, they all seek the same thing, and that's sincerity, genuine authenticity, a real bond that is formed, that combines them, that they feel in their soul, their heart, and their mind, which ultimately creates this irresistibility between them physically. So what first starts out as emotional becomes spiritual, becomes intellectual, becomes emotional, etc. Creates a physical bond between them. They just can't stop, being physically affectionate and loving each other. The sex is therefore thousands of times better. I mean, everything about what we Goths want in a relationship and seek and get are far superior than the stereotypical cookie cutter generic preppy bullshit where, no, I want a hot ass cheerleader, a blonde bimbo, yeah, big boobs and a big ass. Yeah, no, we Gothics aren't like that. Yeah, we can find it attractive, but that isn't the center of our universe. That's not our main thing that we're going for. We want something real. We want something that isn't superficial and shallow, materialistic, nothing. of that sort. We want real. We want authentic. We want sincere. We want it all. We don't want just physical attraction. We want emotional connections, heart-to-heart connection, soul connections, whatever you want to call it. We want all of these different factors, all of them, before anything else. And that is what differentiates between goths and the rest of the normies, the rest of the everyday folk, and especially that of preps. And oh my God, does that make a hell of a difference when you're especially in Traverse City, northern Michigan. I'm the crazy one for wanting something like that, because all these other idiots out there are wanting the complete opposite. Shame. So, until next time.